Okay, just very short session. And the lady who asked the last question, kind of important. The Vajra pride of being the deity. This is very good. I think I've already stressed quite a lot about how important it is to have both wisdom and method in union. So I've already talked about during the sadhana, sort of clear, detailed visualization is encouraged, but more importantly, encouraged is pride of being the deity, confidence of being the deity. But then the next step, even more important, is the illusory aspect of this deity. So this is what you needed to hear. And the example is usually given like this. When you think of the deity, the details of the deity, you should think in terms like a reflection of yourself in the mirror or reflection of the moon in the lake. It's there, but it's also not there simultaneously. So many examples like this are given. Shahaja, co-emergent, simultaneously arising. So it's like this moon and the reflection of the moon. It's there and it's not there. The sahaja, the simultaneous. Sarjindu tongpa tongjindu sa, sarjindu tongpa tongjindu salva. There's so many expressions like this, very, very valuable for the sadhana practitioner. Of course, ideally, we need to apply this kind of wisdom or attitude towards life in general. I mean, we don't even need to go to the Tantra. Even in the Mahayana, I think I've given this example so many times, but I actually like this example. Like having a short nap of 5 minutes, having a long dream of going to a Starbucks coffee, order 10 cups of coffee of different kinds, and getting them and coming back with everything what you ordered. And just because it's a dream, it does not violate the fact that it's a 10 cups. It's not 9 cups, it's 10 cups. It's not 1 cup. It's all there. And everything what you ordered, hazelnut, I don't know, a cinnamon taste, with milk, without milk, ice, all there intact. But from the time you went to Starbucks coffee till you wake up, nothing has happened. None of this sort of exists. Really? Not exists? I can't really say. You went, you ordered, you even drank, you shared. All of that happened. So I can't really also outrightly say, oh, it never happened. It happened in a certain way, on a certain level. This is how the Mahayana people think the life, generally all Buddhists think life works like this. You are sitting there, I'm sitting here. Of course, right now you will adamantly sort of insist that you are there and I'm here. If I ask Praveen to sit here, he will refuse. Even though in private there is photo evidence that he sat on the throne. Photo evidence. So this, is how it is. What is it? This is actually what in tantric language called upanikrama. So it's actually a practice. Cherim, we call it cherim, upanikrama. It's a creation, you visualize all of that. But I still want to answer that question, what's the difference? So, what's the difference of thinking, having an excessive pride of who you are, like as an artist, as a doctor, as a lawyer, whatever, as just, I don't know, Tom, Harry, whatever, or versus being a deity. Even on the relative level, there is some difference, quite a lot of difference. And the difference is information and marketing, actually. You have been marketed as whoever you are. And that result is usually, I don't know, whatever, the success, whatever the reference you have as a lawyer, as a doctor, as a student, as a wife, as a husband. But on the other hand, the deities from the beginning, it should be actually, is marketed as the union of wisdom and method, as the union of emptiness and luminosity. So the impact has to be different. And moreover, Tantra will argue, let's say you are, I don't know, Louise, and you think you are Louise. And the Tantra will argue, say, no, actually, that's a made up. It has nothing behind. There's nothing, like valuable. You are actually Tara. You just never realized. And then you ask, who is Tara? And then the argument of Tathagata Garbha, and all of that. So the Tantric will say that thinking you are deity is more closer, it's being more authentic, is being more truer to yourself than thinking you are Louise or whatever identity you have. Okay, now all sadhanas, as I said earlier, come to conclusion of dissolving. This is a big part of the sadhana, which a lot of the sadhakas, practitioners, they sort of, because there's nothing really much to practice, there's no ritual. This is the part of what we call sampanikrama, which is resolution. So the deity that you have constructed, you have visualized, are all dissolved gradually or instantly, depending on different sadhanas, and then stay in the state of dharmata, dharmakaya, or whatever you want to call it, in that union of emptiness and luminosity as much as you can. Okay? We have to pay some attention to this. So, okay, let's say gradually the lotus dissolve into the moon disk dissolve into you, your body, your attributes such as the flower or the sword, if you are practicing Manjushri, dissolve into you, crown, jewels, or dissolve into body, garments dissolve into your body. Body also slowly dissolve, either from the top or from the bottom, or from both, slowly dissolve into this, let's say, the moon disk inside your heart, if there is. Then the moon disk again dissolve into the Vajra, if there is. Then the Vajra dissolve into the Sid syllable, let's say like a Hri or a Hung. And then this hum also slowly, 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 slowly dissolve into the circle. And then the circle dissolve into the nadi, sort of a stroke. And then stroke also dissolves. And then, see, it's a really good exercise of death, if you want to call it. I'm using very raw language. And then stay there. Stay there as much as you can. That could be, for beginners, 2 seconds. Of course. So, after 2 seconds, maybe you would think about, I don't know, blue cheese or your next appointment. But then, the sadhaka, what they do is, instead of letting the blue cheese or the, I don't know, paneer tikka or cup of tea invade, before it invade in you, before it enters you, you take over, rise as a deity. That is, you control your rebirth, so to speak. You control. So this is an exercise. So this you can, and then, okay, you are still not perfect being, you are not a Mahasiddha, meaning what? You have to pay bills. That's the difference between the Mahasiddha and the ordinary beings. You have to pay bills. And there are a few differences, such as, Mahasiddhas, they probably have mouth, but they don't have asshole. So nothing goes down. Whereas we do have. So we need to fill it up again. It's just terrible, isn't it? We need to plan, we need to schedule, we need to just do all these things. So, sure, we understand this. So what do? We do what we call post meditation. It's also sadhana, by the way. This is another part of the sadhana that is being forgotten by the practitioner a lot. So, okay, you want to chew, I don't know, you want to eat a samosa? Then eat samosa as a deity. It's an exercise, So basically, you constantly tell yourself you are the deity and all of that. Of course, I want to tell you not to, rush too much. It's not going to have immediate impact as how you wish. But even a momentary thinking and having a confidence that you are a deity, as I told you yesterday, the rows of ants running after another, disrupted, like that, even a moment of being a deity will have an impact. And just a few more, just the sign of impact of the sadhana. Well, the first impact will be you will be torn. Should I go to the birthday party of my cousin? It's so useless. So what is it for? Should I go? Then you decided to go. And then for that party, you need to wear a certain outfit. And you do it sort of, I don't know, maybe reluctantly in the beginning. Reluctant, because you see the useless, you kind of see the uselessness. Then after a few years, you go to the party, you wear all of this, but with a little bit of thinking, is this such a joke, like a humor? Everything is a humor. Everything is like, After a certain year of practice, then you actually go to party. Try to go to all the parties. Make sure that people invite you, and you really spend 4 hours putting a right outfit and right makeup, because you have already seen the uselessness and the illusory aspect of it, and then it is actually even more fun and more enjoyable, and there's also an agenda, there's a vested interest. There's the interest of turning everything into the Aryatara or whatever, the deity. And as you go to the party, if there's a gatekeeper who doesn't allow you, perfectly fine. Next party you go, or whatever, you never feel rejected. So Mahasiddha is basically no more fear of missing out and no more feeling rejected. That is Mahasiddha. And no need to apologize, but you will be so polite. And I don't know, without putting any effort, you actually end up becoming like a magnet for others. Because on the most fundamental level, people will think you are harmless. Because you have no agenda, or only agenda you have is the bodhicitta. So now tonight, I think I'll be doing the Serjin yeah, the pure gold. I'll be doing tonight. It's not because I've become a Mahasiddha that I'm losing time. It's just I'm so bad with schedules, appointments. Please, can you not be too, tough on my assistants? Because all my assistants, many times they know the last. The others already knew what's happening and they know the last. So tonight I think we are talking about the pure gold, which should be very, very, Mahayana. But having received this sadhana introduction, you can always hear it through the tantric ear, tantric understanding. Yes, this is the thing. This is what Longchenpa said. Once you have become the Mahasandhi practitioner, very matured, somebody would be reading a phone book and you will, each and every word, it will be inspiring. And each and every word will be very, fascinating. Phone book is actually fascinating. We don't have this anymore, do we? Oh, so sad. Used to have something called a yellow page, that thick book. No more joy of going through the pages? Okay. Well, Mahasiddha, Mahasandhi practitioners, tantric practitioners will be able to, but that does not mean that Mahasandhi practitioners or the Mahasiddhas will create a lot of hodgepodge, sort of, what do you call it? Mishmash? What? No, they won't. They will not serve sushi with chips. They will say sushi is sushi, chips is chips, hamburger is hamburger, like that. Okay. If you have one or two questions, it's fine. Maybe two questions, I have time, and then...
Thank you, Rinpoche. You're so generous. I'm wondering about, with the monastic vow, how it's said that the vow has some kind of form. Like,
Oh, yeah.
right? Is that when we get to Abhisheka, when we are doing the practice, is there this kind of imprint so that when we are in that state?
Yeah, if you are talking about the Vinaya, the Vinaya authority really is very much, it's held by the Shadvaka or the Theravada, or more classic term is something like a Vabhyashika or Sautrantika schools. They have the authority. And this is why, obviously, in places like Sri Lanka, Burma, the Vinaya and the Abhidharma, I would say. So they really have the, knowledge, know-how. They have the authority on this. In the Vinaya tradition, also related to the Abhidharma, the monastic, like a bhikshu and bhikshuni kind of ordination is, this is a very, very classic view of Vabhyashika school of Buddhism. They say that it's a form. It's like a number might be zuk. I think, I don't know how to translate. There must be a translation in English. What is it? What? Mental formation. Yeah. Number might be zuk. Anyway, there is this. There is it's a really big study, and it's a brilliant idea. Actually, it's a brilliant. I just give you an example. Bodhisattva vow you can take from now till enlightenment. Bodhisattva vow. So you can die, and the next time when you're reborn as a butterfly or as a, I don't know, whatever, you are still a bodhisattva unless you have given up or broken it. But a bhikshu vow is related to form, actually, so it can only be end when you die unless you have broken it. And therefore, you cannot take a monk's vow now and then reborn as a baby monk. You understand? So on and so forth. There is Vinaya is a really, really, I think, just recently I was discussing with somebody that now, with all the, for some strange reason, especially in America, the morality and ethic is becoming a big, big issue. All that legal, legit morality, ethic, secular ethic, and all of that. I think they should pay some attention to the study of Abhidharma and Vinaya, because it has lots of things that will solve so many problems. But it's a very hard study. Okay.
That is more in line with Vajrayana. So when you get the Abhishek,
Oh, I see. Yes.
is it an imprint?
No. Now, when you talk to the Abhita, then when you go to the Bodhisattva level, already that is almost, well, according to many scholars, like, okay, it's like that kind of concept is outshined, because in Bodhisattva vow, mind is more important. Right? Now to the Vajrayana. Now in the Vajrayana, this is why they do talk about the body. I think you are talking about the Vaka, Kaya Vajra, the Kaya form, body, Vajra, indestructible body. Now that is a little bit different from this thing that you are talking earlier. It's a little different. We are talking about unsplittable nature of all phenomena. That's what they are talking about.
Just one last thing. So the deity, instead of the word deity, I offer the word avatar.
Avatar, okay.
And if that's the case, the Kaya Vajra, is that the same or is that?
Yeah, the only thing is there's the Dharmakaya and the Sambhogakaya thing. It might not cover it. Okay, Nick, and that will, I think we will have to go. Nick?
Thank you, Rinpoche. You said that the seed syllable dissolves into the nadi, and then the nadi dissolves into the stroke. Can you say more about what that is?
Stroke. I think if you cook an egg, I think you will learn this.
With clothes or with...
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dan, we will have plenty of time, don't worry. Okay. Okay, thank you.